Sans plus tarder, today my name is Sébastien Durand. I will be presenting, I've changed the title, so I apologize, but it's the result of a collaboration in response to the coronavirus situation. So it's an oversight, but an oversight that hopefully I'm going to provide some more technical insights. I want to first, before I start, give a big thanks to all of the people who contributed to this work. I've tried to get Michaelo Charanamji and Pierre Tardif online today because they were significant actors at the technical level, and it would have been nice to have them around, but they were not able to do the presentation. So I'm going to be speaking a little bit on their behalf. So as most of you know, the situation about COVID was quite critical. It happened relatively fast, and it did require people to collaborate together at the multi-ministerial level or departmental level in order to create and publish geospatial products in order to showcase the impacts of this pandemic and inform Canadians. The work was officially led by the PHAC, by a public health agency. So we were kind of walking in a situation where we weren't in control, we weren't the product owner, we weren't the data owner, and we were just walking in trying to get into a helping mode, trying to help people and find ways to maximize and relieve some of the pressures that their team were actually having at the very beginning. So we made a quick call out to our different partners, and we got, thankfully, Statistics Canada, many people from Ressources, naturelles Canada, from public safety and shared services who came helping. So we all kind of joined together to move forward on that, try to develop a solution. The goal of that team that was created was really to publish the data that was scavenged or gathered or that was shared to the federal apparatus, and integrate it in some tangible way for the decision makers to make informed decisions on a daily basis. And that component about the daily basis really was weighing a lot on the resources, especially at the very beginning of the project. So what was the actual challenges that was associated with this is, first, there was not much information about the disease. The data was not really available. It was hard to capture that information from the different provinces and the different health regions, official offices. The data was not really standardized either. So that was another big challenge. The data also, unfortunately, was not integrated or was not necessarily structured in such a way that people would understand what it means. So sometimes the definitions itself was not the same from one province to another. The other aspect was there was no common place where people could work together to do such work, whether it is integrate, doing some web scraping, doing some data manipulation, and all that. So the departments and the agency that were actually implicated had a different culture in how to manage such situation. For example, PHAC is used to deal with emergency situation that relates to vector diseases and stuff like this, whereas NRCan had strong experience in doing some emergency situation in regards to flood, fires, but the whole situation was more socioeconomic in this stage, and the linkages to stats information was key and paramount. So, but yet the means of operating was quite beyond what we were used to do. So, I mean, that was really the challenge that we faced. But what came out of that situation at the very beginning was how do we get all these people to work together. When COVID started, we were told by our government highest officials, people, you need to work from home. So there was no Teams at the time, which we're using thankfully today, and there was no single point of access where everybody could actually link together. So what we did is we established a Slack channel, and then we started to structure it through project oversight, IT, content, web communication. Then we've identified some specific key section and core components that actually led to engaging over 100 different individual experts, specialists, and actors to help in the coordination of the situation. That establishment was probably the moment charnière, or one of the key moment of the whole project, because without such a common place to support exchange and communication, nothing would have been really realized. So that's the first thing. Like in the end, one of the big findings is we're all humans trying to provide some key insights into a problem that we all are trying to solve. And if we don't have a means to communicate and exchange together, then that's really hard. So that was one of the first things we really tried to do. So that was resolved in the first 24 hours. In the next 72 hours, it was a dance of trying to find the right architecture, what was available in the different departments, divisions, try to see how we can leverage what's out there to ensure that we have what we need to communicate and integrate the information from a geospatial perspective. So within 72 hours, we created probably the first official or unofficial horizontal cloud environment with the help of Shared Service Canada. And that cloud environment allowed people to connect using virtual machines that were preloaded with ArcGIS software. We established some different technological stacks, being OpenStacks and S3 stacks, to enable the geo-integration, some of the modeling and the exchange. We've also established some exchange file for, locations so that people could actually do some of those file management. We had S3 buckets and all that. And after these 72 hours from the moment that the group was created, we had a full-blown infrastructure in the cloud working. That was a good moment of satisfaction. And the day after, I think there was around 100 or like at least 10 key products that went out. But there was another 100 products that were being worked effortlessly. So one of the key product that was done internally, not necessarily made public at the very beginning, was these sets of maps. It's actually a video. This video was just pushed today. It's a YouTube video. I hope if I click start, it's going to work fine. I'll try it, but oh darn. This video, I'll stop it. It's just because my video card is not so great. I've got too big of a screen. But it showcased the evolution of the COVID by health region through time. And one funny factor is the geometries that we're using to report this change in time. So the whole suite of systems being S3 are not really meant to support changing geometry in times and then support the feed of that information on a map that evolves also in time. That created a tremendous challenge in seeing proper data integration through time as we're trying to portray it through the different web services that were made available. So that was a significant challenge that we had to overcome. These maps were produced daily and they were included in the internal daily reports. So it was important, but they were created mostly manually as we were going along. This second product here was probably one of the most important product that got created at the very beginning. It's now a bit deprecated, so maybe that's a bit why there's some issues and that the numbers are not fully up to date. And I'll explain why. But this was a very important product that was created thanks with the help of S3 and also that Amazon Web Services did help and provide some service in this whole project. I want to give kudos there. The Canada COVID-19 Situational Awareness Dashboard was probably one of the first full integration of information that was used. It was used by Dr. Tam. It was used by the upper level of all of the upper level of the administration to monitor the situation, try to advance proper decision making and all that. So we created this dashboard so that we could support province and territories perspective. Also, again, the by health region, sorry, it's loading, the by health region. We added different sets of layers to help support and sustain, again, more different decision making. And I mean, it worked really well till the following problem, WCAG, which is the web compliance, the web content accessibility guidelines. Because we wanted to publish this information, we need to make sure that it is accessible. And that created an issue because often some of the geo products that are pushed out there are not fully compliant. So that was one of the caveats that forced us to move and to transition into a new technology. And that's where Public Health Agency did the most of the heavy lifting, again, supported by StatsCan. I'll show it to you. So what's happening now on this specific project, and actually, before I go there, I could actually just go a bit over the different types of data that we could come in, and there's a key component I'd like to bring forth to you, is even so, this situation like it was major, everybody was involved, everybody was trying to do proper modeling, proper extraction of the information. Yet, all of the information that was made available was the total cases, the total number of deaths, some numbers of who was tested, the number of recovery, but there was not that much information that we could get additionally to really support, like the level of granularity, trying to get more precise than health region was almost impossible to do, mostly because of privacy situation. So that was one of the big caveats we found. The other thing too is there was investigation about can we use cellular information for people if they agree so, and then try to represent that on map. And there was so much effort done trying to provide more information, more pertinence, and provide more context. And actually, I guess what this highlights is probably the need to better standardize how such information is shared and stored and accumulated. So then when the next time comes, hopefully not, but if next time comes, we're at least prepared to address and integrate the information more readily, because that really did take a lot of effort and time and resources. And in the end, some processes, if they would have been in place and have been validated to confirm the protection of the privacy rights of all the different individuals, could have led to better products. So, yes, so I'll let you explore the map that I'll show you after. There's some links. This presentation is going to be made public after I'm done today. But the activities that are currently still happening, obviously, is we have experts in GIS that are still available to create dashboards that are interactive, virtual maps, and in order to really cover properly the situation. Again, one of the big caveat and the big undertaking was to make sure that these products remain up to date all the time. So we were trying to maintain them every 24 hours. And that just by itself created a lot of work. So it does put an emphasis on the need to automate and have the capacity to script things. And that's where having a common environment is becoming more and more of a requirement. Because technically, it's not the amount of data that's the problem. It's how to manage it, treat it, and integrate it properly. I quickly already spoken about the amount of effort that was needed to deploy and integrate the information in time. So I'm not going to go over that. Next thing was the quality control. Thanks to the University of Toronto, who collected most of the information that got used to sustain the dashboards, we also embarked in a process to do quality checks on these data sets. So what we've done is established some web scraping algorithms that was looking at official sites from the provinces and territories. And we were actually validating that data just to make sure that what we did push was as official as it could be. So lastly, what we've done is we've actually published the information that was vetted in open government. So I did get the link here. So that's a link. I hope you see this. So that's the link that showcases all of the data that was currently made available in the different formats, as well as the applications that links to it. So going back to this, trying to wrap up also, in the summary, I would say that because this whole endeavor required a special team, required super rapid actions, I must say, like, I'm so pleased and I'm so impressed by the quality of the specialists and the people who came through and all joined effort, butt heads together to really provide a strong support to PHAC and all of the other decision makers and the public overall. So that's something that's really important to mention there. And I'm quite pleased and happy to see the great products that were created. I think overall, in a short amount of time, we all worked together. We produced over 240 different products during that time frame. So the effort of the team definitely sustained a broad diversity of fields, being epidemiology, surveillance, modelization, decision making, as well as communication. I mean, in the end, that's another thing that was realized is it's great to be able to be good with data, to be standardization and automation, but the real end goal, again, comes down to communication. If you deliver something, it needs to be at the point where you have to communicate it. It loops back into the first reason as to why Slack was established, is to get people together. I think the communication of the information we capture and our responsibility to do that through a geo lens is gaining more and more importance. So I think this is something to just keep on focusing on, is the information products that we deliver needs to be communicatable. Sorry, that's a bit weird. The other thing too was we've found, and I'll be quick, we've found that the geospatial information alone is weak. Socioeconomical information is pertinent, but when we put them together, that's where the big gain lies. So again, the big effort was created. The proud realization in the end was the different products that I'm showcasing here, visual gallery, all made under D3 technology that is WCAG compliant. So I'll recommend you to go and see that. And the last words are technically, again, I'm flabbergasted by the will, the strength, and efficiency of that team. And I do expect and hope that everybody will go and grow from that situation. I consider that we shouldn't be measuring the success of this team by what they've achieved today, but by the path that they've laid for the realizations of tomorrow. So again, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for listening in this late hour. And yeah, thank you. I'll take any questions if you want.
Merci beaucoup à vous, M. Durand, pour la présentation.
Ça fait plaisir.
OK. Là, il nous reste à peu près 5 minutes pour la fin de la présentation de M. Durand. Si vous avez des questions, on peut prendre une ou deux questions. OK. Bon, on est rendu à peu près au bout du tunnel.